Okay, get this. What if you could totally transform your body just by changing one simple thing in your diet? I know, it sounds a little too good to be true, right? But today we're going to dig into this really fascinating claim that eating fish every day can fundamentally change your body and your mind. So, what are we even talking about here? What are these huge promises? Well, the material we're looking at, it's not shy. It suggests this one little dietary change can have some seriously huge effects. It really just asks you straight up, and it's a question that makes you stop and think. And look, we're not talking about a minor little improvement here. The claim is for a complete upgrade, from the inside out. But here's the kicker. The timeline for this transformation. It's all supposed to happen, yeah, just 1 month. The whole idea here is that you can see a massive shift in a ridiculously short amount of time. So, what exactly are these promises? Let's break them down. All right, so boosting your brain, protecting your heart, getting that glowy skin. I mean, those are all things most of us are after, right? Big goals. But that last one, slowing down aging, whoa, that's the one that really caught my eye. We're going to get into how that's even supposed to be possible in just a little bit. Okay, so before we can really get the solution, we have to talk about the problem it's trying to solve. And the idea here is that a lot of us might be walking around with these nagging health issues that all trace back to one single thing that we're missing. So, take a look at this list. Does any of it sound familiar? You know that feeling of being totally drained, your memory not being what it used to be, feeling stressed out? I mean, who doesn't feel that sometimes? It's super common. But what's really interesting is the idea that all these different problems, they might not be separate at all. They could all be connected to one thing your body just isn't getting enough of. And that one thing is omega-3s. You've probably heard of them, right? They're the good fats. But here's the most important part. Our bodies can't make them from scratch. We have to eat them. We have to get them from our diet. Think of them as essential fuel for your brain. Plus, they're huge for keeping inflammation in check. And inflammation is tied to pretty much every big health problem out there. All right, so we've got the problem and we've got the magic bullet, so to speak. Now let's get to the fun part, the 30-day journey. The claim is broken down week by week, showing you what's supposedly happening inside your body as you go. So, in week 1, it's all about activating the brain. The theory is when you suddenly flood your brain with all these high-quality omega-3s, you're basically giving your brain a supercharge. Your focus, your memory, they're supposed to get a whole lot sharper. Okay, then we hit week 2, and the spotlight moves to your heart. This is where the omega-3s are supposed to get to work on things like bad cholesterol and blood pressure, which, as you know, are two of the biggest players when it comes to heart health. It's all about building up this protective shield for one of your most important organs. All right, moving on to week 3. By this point, those amazing anti-inflammatory powers of omega-3s really start to kick in. You can actually start to feel them. So if you've got achy joints or just general inflammation, this is when you might start feeling some real relief. And now for week 4, we get to that surprise benefit we talked about at the beginning. This is where the changes supposedly start showing up on the outside. We're talking about things you can actually see. Your skin might look healthier, more hydrated, and on a microscopic level, your cells are getting protected, which could actually help slow down that aging process. So you make it through the full 30 days, and what do you get? Well, according to this, it's a full body upgrade. It's not just one thing anymore. It's how everything starts working together. All those changes adding up. You've got more energy, you're in a better mood, you might even be sleeping deeper. It's like a total system reboot. Okay, so the promises sound pretty amazing, right? But how do you actually do it? Luckily, the plan itself is actually super simple and straightforward. The most important thing, according to this plan, is picking the right kind of fish. You want to go for fatty fish because that's where you'll find the highest concentration of omega-3s. Here are some of the heavy hitters: salmon, sardines, mackerel, tuna. All great, easy-to-find options. And here it is, the whole method in 4 easy steps. First, you pick your fish from that list. Then, you cook it the right way. Think grilling or boiling, not deep frying because that keeps all the good stuff in. But honestly, the most important part is just being consistent. The goal is to eat it 4 to 5 times a week, every week for the entire 30 days. That's the key to seeing the results. So, we've gone through the promises, the why behind it, and the how-to. And it all wraps up with a direct challenge to you. This is really the bottom line. It's basically an invitation to become your own science experiment, to try this 30-day plan for yourself and just see. See if you can actually feel the changes we've just been talking about. And that really leaves us with one final big question to chew on. We're always hearing about these complicated diets and crazy workout plans. But what if the biggest health upgrades are actually the simplest ones? The thought that just adding one food to your plate could make that much of a difference? Well, it's definitely something to think about.